Look at Spyro 1. Everyone agrees that it's probably in the top 40 or 50 Spyro games of all time, but nearly 20 years since its original release, does it still hold up today? The answer is yeah. Spyro 1 is definitely the best fucking game ever made in my opinion. Definitely somewhere around there. And this isn't even my pathetic nostalgia talking. I didn't even have a PS1 growing up. I was more of a little Nintendo boy. I only first played Spyro 1 last year, which makes my thoughts on it all the more clearer. I had no biases, I wasn't trying to make excuses for any poor design choices that I had forgotten about or gotten used to over the years. It was all fresh and new to me, and I still loved every minute of it. I beat the game and got 100% in a single sitting, and then I did the exact same thing just a day after. Literally every single aspect of Spyro 1 is perfect. I have absolutely zero complaints about it. 10 out of 10, flawless game. The story in Spyro 1 is total dog shit. I hate every single thing about it, and it makes me sick to my stomach just thinking about it. But the geniuses at Insomniac could see into the future and witness my disgust, so they added the option to skip every cutscene in the game. I don't even know what Spyro sounds like in this game, or if he's even the good guy. I could be raiding villages and killing innocent homeowners for all I know. That's how much I don't care. Being able to skip cutscenes adds a lot to the replayability factor of Spyro. There's nothing, and I mean nothing, that pisses me off more than having to sit through mandatory story that some guy at some studio thought was more interesting than the game itself. What an absolutely sickening practice. How shameful. But Spyro knows not to waste my time. It knows that all I want to do is speed through its levels and collect everything as fast as I can, and I appreciate it for that. Whenever I feel like starting up a new file, I know that I can get into the first stage within seconds, that there's no unskippable cutscene introducing all of the characters one by one, or a section where they force me to walk around while someone's talking to me. I can instantly just start running around, headbutting those green things. It's perfect. Spyro 1 has an extremely distinct visual style that really takes advantage of the limited hardware of the PS1. You'll notice that there's no disgusting fog effect that plagued so many early 3D games. Fog effects were put into these types of games because the weak hardware of the time couldn't handle rendering models at high distances. Sometimes this is avoided because the areas are extremely small or the camera is fixed on a set point, like the Crash Bandicoot games. Those games are completely linear, so the game doesn't have to render all that much. Many 3D platformers though have huge, wide open spaces that need to implement these fog effects as to not show geometry loading in, and I don't like it one bit. This takes away from the atmosphere of a lot of games and can really bring down the intended quality. I mean, just look at this. Where's the atmosphere? What the hell were they thinking? Thankfully, Spyro wants you to look at its graphics. Spyro 1 uses an incredibly advanced form of technology known as LOD. What the game does is render the nice looking visuals when you're near them, but then render a lower quality version of those visuals when you move away from them. Using this, an entire area could be visible from one end to the other, making the world seem a lot more expansive than it really is. Compared to other games that only render what's immediately around you, making you feel like you're constantly in corridors, Spyro 1 feels much more open and inviting. This adds a lot to the atmosphere of the game, which I think is actually important. Atmosphere? In my 3D action platformers? Yes. Spyro 1's atmosphere is lonely, dreamlike, and just a tiny bit strange. Look at these skyboxes. Don't you fucking tell me you wouldn't have wanted these painted on your baby boy walls as a kid. I could fall asleep right now just looking at them, they're so peaceful. But they're also a little unsettling. There's literally nothing in them except a few abstract clouds and distant mountain ranges. Where are we? What's the purpose of these areas? Why are they connected by weird portals instead of roads? Where is everything? These are all questions that no one has ever had. I just like the look of this game. I don't know, man. Look at the first hub world. Don't you just want to walk around in it and relax a bit? What about this level? Seems pretty cool to me. This one's not bad either. I love this game's areas. Except maybe that whole swamp section. What was up with that? That doesn't fit at all with the rest of the game. Who cares? Let's talk about Spyro himself. Spyro is the main character in Spyro, and he's not half bad. His model's pretty good looking, and I really like how the vertices don't fuck up when you make his head look around. Wow! He has a lot of expressive animations, which is pretty impressive considering the hardware. The best thing about Spyro though, is that he can move. And not only can he move, he can also do other things. He can run, bird things to death, run while looking at the ground, uselessly roll, and he can fly. You all know the drill. I don't have to explain all this shit to you, you're all experts. All you have to know is that he controls great, like any character in a 3D platformer should. No obnoxious tank controls, no slippery handling, everything works exactly how you want it. The only clear improvement I would want would be something like a double jump, but they added that in the sequel. Other than that, Spyro controls perfectly. Everything I've listed so far is great, and it makes Spyro stand out when compared to all the other shitty 3D platformers of the time, at least in my mind. But what truly elevates Spyro from just good to the rank of seriously fucking sweet, dude, is how collectibles work in this game. There are standard collectibles like the 80 dragon dads you can free, and the dragon eggs that you get by chasing down these fuckers, but that's all baby shit. Nobody on the planet gives one shit about these guys. What really matters are the gems, the basic looking currency that you can find by killing guys, breaking boxes, or just running around. I wouldn't blame you if you thought these were useless and you just ignored some of them and just completed the game like normal. After all, who the fuck plays a Mario game to collect every coin in a level? Who wastes their time playing a Sonic game not going fast but grabbing every ream you can find? No one, because rings and coins are absolutely worthless. But in Spyro, the gems are the exact opposite of worthless. The only way to unlock the last level is to find every single gem in every level in every area, along with all the other collectibles. This makes picking up gems feel so satisfying, because you just know you're getting that much closer to 100%ing the game. You feel a tangible difference in your progress, which is only helped by the fucking amazing progress tracker that the game has. You're never confused about how much you have left to do, or how much you might have missed. It satisfies that checklist mentality that I love about 3D collectathons. And the reward for beating the game 100%, being a new level that gives you a shit ton of even more gems, bumping the completion to 120%, is the best reward I could ask for. It just feels good, you know? It's a satisfying feeling knowing that you've completely wrecked a game, and that you've seen everything it has to offer. It's something that a lot of games don't do much of now, and I'd love to see that sort of design come back in some way. What else is there to talk about? Probably a lot, really. I didn't even talk about the levels themselves that much, or the bosses, or even the regular enemies. What I could say is that this game is too fucking easy. Really, the only thing you have to get good at is remembering the level layouts so you can remember where to jump to get a couple secret areas. Other than that, the difficulty is pretty low on this one. It's a kid's game though, so that's not even a real complaint. The only thing that I want to talk about is the potential remake. As of this video, there's rumors and speculation about a re-release of the first 3 Spyro games, remade with modern visuals. The Crash Bandicoot trilogy remake sold well, so I'd guess that the rumors are true. But does Spyro 1 need a remake? Does anything need fixing or updating? The only thing that I can think of that needs objective improvement is analog camera control. The original just uses the shoulder buttons to slowly turn the camera. Other than that, what else is there to add to an already near perfect game? The animations are still to this day expressive and enjoyable, the controls are flawless, there's no game ruining bugs or performance issues, the art style and graphics are fucking sweet and don't need changing. So what is there? I'll tell you what. The potential for new Spyro games in this exact format. The Spyro series, like Crash, came spiraling into a never-ending hell dive when making the jump from PS1 to other consoles. Literally no Spyro game after 3 was even comparable to the originals, and it's only gotten worse over the years. But if enough interest is shown in the original formula, and the unannounced remake sells well, the chances of seeing more games like those will go way up. I mean, if the remake is obviously shit, then don't get it. No one wants to waste money. But if the visuals are just a bit different and that pisses you off for some reason, or if there's any small nitpick you have about it, maybe don't overreact too much. You have to take what you can get with these type of things. And Jesus Christ, I know you don't want to go back to this. Hey, thanks for watching the first video I've literally ever fucking made. If you have any criticisms or suggestions, then post them if you want. I'm planning on making more of these, and I probably have at least 100 things I need to improve.